3 times. 3 goddamn times Marcus chose Vivian over me, and each time I told myself it was the last. The first time, we were 22, and I was just his best friend watching him propose to someone else. The second time, we were 28, and I was the other woman he abandoned when she came back from Paris. The third time destroyed everything. I was 31, carrying his child, and he still walked away when she crooked her finger. That was 2 years ago. Today, he's sitting across from my mahogany desk in a $3,000 suit, desperate for the job that could save his crumbling career, completely unaware that the M. Rodriguez he's been emailing is the woman whose life he shattered. Again. So, Mr. Chen, I say, tapping my Mont Blanc pen against the leather portfolio in front of me, tell me why you think you're qualified for this position. His hands are shaking slightly. Good. I've done my homework. 6 months of unemployment, credit cards maxed out, living in a studio apartment in the worst part of downtown. The mighty Marcus Chen, reduced to begging for jobs. Well, I have 15 years of experience in strategic partnerships, he begins. And God, that voice still does things to me I wish it didn't. I've managed portfolios worth over 50 million, established relationships with Fortune 500 companies, and your last position ended rather abruptly, I interrupt, pulling out his file. Care to explain? He shifts in his chair. There were some internal politics. A conflict of interest arose, and I felt it was best to step away. Conflict of interest. That's a nice way of saying Vivian convinced half the board he was embezzling funds. Which he wasn't, but truth has never been Vivian's strong suit. Internal politics, I repeat. How do you handle working with difficult personalities? The irony isn't lost on me. He's staring at my nameplate, Esser Rodriguez, and I can see the wheels turning. Something familiar about my voice, maybe? But Maya Sullivan died 2 years ago. M. Rodriguez is who I became after I picked myself up from the bathroom floor, blood between my legs and a pregnancy test in the trash. I believe in direct communication, he says carefully, honesty, laying everything on the table. I actually laugh at that. Honesty, that's refreshing. I'm sorry, have we met before? I don't think so. I lean back in my chair. You'd remember me. Would he, though? The Maya he knew wore oversized sweaters and had frizzy hair she never knew how to style. This version has a $400 blowout, contacts instead of glasses, and a wardrobe that costs more than his rent. Power suits and red lipstick. The kind of woman who takes what she wants instead of waiting for someone to choose her. The position comes with significant responsibility. I continue. You'd be reporting directly to me? Can you handle taking direction from someone younger than you? He bristles slightly. Age doesn't matter, results do. Good answer. I make a note. What's your biggest professional failure? The question hits him like a slap. I watch him process it, see the exact moment he realizes I'm not asking about missed deadlines or lost clients. I trusted the wrong person, he says quietly. I let someone manipulate me into making decisions that hurt people I cared about. People he cared about. Plural. As if I was just one of many casualties in his war with his own stupidity. Could you be more specific? I'd rather not get into details. This is an interview, Mr. Chen. Details are exactly what I need. He runs a hand through his hair, still thick, still that perfect shade of black that made me want to run my fingers through it. I was involved with someone, thought I knew what I wanted. When my ex came back into the picture, I made a choice that ended up destroying everything. Everything? My relationship, my career, my integrity. He looked straight at me. The person I hurt deserved better. Deserved better. That's the closest he's ever come to admitting he was wrong. 2 years too late, but who's counting? What makes you think you won't make the same mistake again? Because I learned what happens when you let fear make your decisions for you. I tap my pen against the desk. Fear of what? Of being vulnerable. Of choosing something real over something familiar. Oh, now he's a philosopher. Where was this wisdom when I was bleeding out his baby in a hospital bathroom? This position requires someone who can handle pressure, I say. Someone who won't crack when things get difficult. How do I know you won't run when the going gets tough? You don't. He leans forward. But I can promise you this. I won't make the same mistakes I made before. I can't afford to. The subtext is clear. He's broke, desperate, and I'm his last shot. Perfect. The salary is $300,000 base, plus bonuses, I tell him. But there's a catch. His eyes light up at the number, then narrow at the condition. What kind of catch? 90-day probationary period. You'd work as a contractor first, reporting directly to me. Prove yourself, and the position is yours. Fail, and you're out. That's unusual. I'm an unusual person. I stand up, smoothing down my skirt. Do you have a problem with that arrangement? No, He stands too, towering over me like he always did. I appreciate the opportunity. Don't thank me yet. The probationary period isn't going to be easy. I have high standards. I can handle it. Can you? I walk around the desk, stopping just close enough that he can smell my perfume. Different from what I used to wear. Everything about me is different now. Because I'm not going to go easy on you just because you're desperate. He swallows hard. I wouldn't expect you to. Good. I extend my hand. Welcome to Meridian Tech, Mr. Chen. Try not to disappoint me. His hand is warm when it closes around mine, and for a second, I'm 22 again, feeling electricity shoot up my arm every time we touched. Then, I remember the blood, the pain, the way he looked at me like I was nothing when he chose her for the third time. I drop his hand like it's on fire. You start Monday, 7 a.m. sharp. Don't be late. I won't. I know. I walk back to my chair, already dismissing him. Because you can't afford to be. He hesitates at the door. Miss Rodriguez, thank you for the chance. Don't thank me, I say without looking up. Survive the next 90 days, then we'll talk. The door closes behind him with a soft click, and I'm alone with the silence and the rage I've been carrying for 2 years. Phase 1 complete. Marcus Chen is about to learn what it feels like to be at someone else's mercy. Monday morning, 6:58 a.m. I'm in my office with my second cup of coffee, watching the elevator bank through my glass wall. At exactly 7 a.m., the doors open and Marcus steps out, looking around like he's lost. Poor baby. First day at his new job, and he has no idea he's walked into a carefully orchestrated nightmare. Maya? I turn to find James, my assistant, standing in the doorway with a stack of files. 26, Harvard MBA, and the only person in this building who knows exactly who I am and what I'm doing. What is it, James? Your 7 a.m. is here. Should I send him in? Give him 5 minutes. Let him sweat. James raises an eyebrow but doesn't comment. He's been with me for 6 months, long enough to know I don't do anything without a reason. Long enough to know that when I smile like this, someone's about to get destroyed. The Morrison account files are on your desk, he says, along with the Henderson project timeline. And the background check you requested. I pick up the thick manila folder. Anything interesting? Depends on your definition of interesting. His credit score is in the toilet, but you already knew that. What you might not know is that he's been making monthly payments to St. Mary's Hospital for the past 2 years, large ones. My blood runs cold. How large? $5,000 a month? Medical bills, looks like. Medical bills. The words hit me like a physical blow. For a wild, insane moment, I wonder if somehow he knew about the baby. If he's been paying for treatment I never got, care I never received. For who? I'm still working on that part. The payments are made through a third-party service, so it's not immediately clear. I close the folder. Keep digging. Maya, James says carefully, are you sure about this? Whatever you're planning? I'm sure. Because if HR finds out you have a personal relationship with someone you're supervising, they won't find out. I look at him sharply. Will they? Not from me. But secrets have a way of surfacing. Not this one. He nods and leaves, and I'm alone with my thoughts and the growing suspicion that there's more to Marcus's story than I know. The medical bills bother me. $5,000 a month for 2 years. That's more than most people make in a year. What kind of medical emergency costs that much? At 7:05, I call James. Send him in. Marcus appears in my doorway looking nervous and eager, like a puppy hoping for a treat. He's wearing a navy suit, off the rack I can tell, but it fits him well. His hair is perfectly styled. His shoes are polished. He's putting on a good show. Good morning, Miss Rodriguez. You're late. He checks his watch, confused. It's 7:05. I was told to wait. I said 7 a.m. sharp. Sharp means on time, not 5 minutes after. I apologize. It won't happen again. It better not. I gesture to the chair across from my desk. Sit. He sits. Here's how this is going to work, I begin, pulling out a thick folder. You're going to be working on the Henderson Project. It's a $50 million partnership deal with a tech startup in Singapore. They want to expand into the US market, and we're going to help them do it. That sounds like exactly the kind of project I have experience with. I'm not finished. My voice cuts through his enthusiasm like a blade. The presentation is due Friday. That gives you 4 days to research the company, analyze their financials, create a comprehensive market entry strategy, and put together a presentation that will convince our board to approve the partnership. His face goes pale. 4 days for a project that size? Problem. It's just, that's typically a 2-week project minimum. Maybe 3 weeks if you want it done right. Then I guess you'll be working some long hours. I lean back in my chair. Unless you don't think you can handle it. I can handle it. Good. Because failure isn't an option. Not for this project. Not for any project you'll be working on while you're here. I slide the folder across the desk. Everything you need to get started is in there. Research files, contact information, preliminary financial data. James will show you to your office. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank me when you've proven you can actually do the job. He stands up, folder in hand. Miss Rodriguez, can I ask you something? You can ask. Why me? I mean, I'm sure you had other candidates, more qualified candidates. Why take a chance on someone with my baggage? I study his face, looking for some sign that he recognizes me, that he knows what he's walking into, but there's nothing. Just genuine curiosity and a hint of desperation. Everyone deserves a second chance, I say finally. Question is, what are you going to do with yours? I'm going to prove that you made the right choice. We'll see. He turns to leave and then pauses. One more thing. I know this is unusual, but would it be possible to get an advance on my first paycheck? I have some bills that are time-sensitive. Bills. Like the $5,000 he's been paying to St. Mary's Hospital every month for 2 years. How much? $10,000. I know it's a lot, but consider it done. James will cut you a check this afternoon. His relief is palpable. Thank you. I really appreciate. Don't get sentimental on me, Chen. It's just business. Right, of course. After he leaves, I sit in my office staring at the background check file. $5,000 a month in medical bills. For who? And why has he been paying them since right around the time I lost the baby? The coincidence is too big to ignore, but it's also too impossible to believe. I pick up my phone and dial James. I need you to do something for me. What? Find out who Marcus Chen has been paying medical bills for, and I need to know today. Today, James. Okay, but what do I tell him about his office? I smile. Put him in the basement. Storage room 3. Tell him it's temporary while we renovate the 5th floor. The storage room? Maya, that's basically a closet. I know exactly what it is. This is cruel, even for you. He'll survive. He's tougher than he looks. If you say so. I hang up and turn to look out my window at the city below. Somewhere down there, Vivian is probably getting ready for her day, completely unaware that the man she spent 2 years destroying is about to become my personal project. 3 times he chose her over me. But this time, I'm the one with the power, and I'm just getting started. By Wednesday, Marcus looks like he hasn't slept in days. Which he probably hasn't, considering I've been sending him urgent requests at 2 a.m. and expecting responses within the hour. You wanted to see me? He says, standing in my doorway with a stack of papers under his arm. Come in, close the door. He does, then sits down across from my desk. Up close, I can see the exhaustion in his eyes, the way his usually perfect hair is slightly mussed. His shirt is wrinkled, like he slept in it. How's the Henderson project coming along? Good, great, actually. I think I found some interesting angles that could really set us apart from other firms. Such as? He opens his folder and pulls out a presentation printout. Henderson Tech isn't just looking for market entry, they're looking for cultural integration. They want to build a brand that resonates with American consumers, not just sell them products. Despite myself, I'm impressed. It's exactly the kind of insight that would make the difference between a good presentation and a great one. Go on. I've been researching their target demographic, and I think we're approaching this all wrong. Everyone's going to pitch them on tech hubs and Silicon Valley connections. But their product, it's a family communication app. The real market is suburban parents, not urban professionals. He's right. He's absolutely right, and it's brilliant. The kind of brilliant that made me fall for him in the first place. Interesting theory, I say, keeping my voice neutral. How do you plan to prove it? I've been running some preliminary market research, surveys, focus groups. I know it's not in the budget, but I used my own money to get the data we need. His own money. Money he doesn't have. Money he should be using to pay rent or buy food or cover those mysterious medical bills. That was initiative. I want this to work. I need it to work. And if it doesn't, he meets my eyes directly. Then I'll have to figure out what comes next. There's something in his voice, a kind of quiet desperation that makes my chest tight. For a moment, I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. Then I remember the way he looked at me when he told me he was going back to Vivian. Like I was nothing. Like the months we'd spent together meant nothing. There's something else I need you to work on, I say, pulling out another file. The Morrison account. They're considering switching to a competitor, and I need you to put together a retention strategy. When do you need it? Tomorrow. Tomorrow? His voice cracks slightly. Miss Rodriguez. I'm already working 18-hour days on Henderson. I don't think I can... Can't? I raise an eyebrow. That's not a word I like to hear. I'm not saying I can't. I'm saying the quality might suffer if I'm spread too thin. Then I guess you'll have to figure out how to manage your time better. He stares at me for a long moment, and I can see him trying to figure out what game I'm playing. If only he knew. Is there something I've done wrong? He asks finally. Because I feel like you're testing me more than the usual new hire. I test everyone. Do you put everyone in a storage room and call it an office? So he's noticed. Good. I was wondering when he'd work up the courage to complain. Your office is temporary. It's been 3 days, and it'll be temporary for as long as I say it's temporary. He leans forward, and for a second I can smell his cologne, the same one he wore when we were together. It makes me dizzy with memory and rage. Look, I don't know what I did to get on your bad side, but I'm trying here. I'm really trying. Try harder. I am trying harder. I'm trying as hard as I can. Then maybe you're not as good as you think you are. The words hit him like a physical blow. I can see it in the way his shoulders slump, the way his face goes carefully blank. It's the same expression he used to get when his father called him worthless, when Vivian criticized his career choices, when anyone questioned his abilities. I know exactly how to hurt him. I've had years to study his weaknesses. I'll get you the Morrison report, he says quietly. See that you do. He stands up, gathering his papers. Can I ask you something? You can ask. Why did you hire me? Really, because it wasn't out of the goodness of your heart. What makes you think I have a heart? Everyone has a heart. Some people just guard theirs better than others. The comment hits too close to home. I stand up, moving to the window so he can't see my face. The Morrison report, tomorrow morning. Don't disappoint me. I won't. After he leaves, I call James into my office. How's our boy doing? He's working in the storage room at 11 p.m. every night. Jerry from security says he's usually there until 2 or 3 a.m., then back by 6. Huh. Good. Maya, this is getting out of hand. He's going to collapse. He's stronger than he looks. He's human. Even humans have limits. I turn from the window. Did you find out about the medical bills? James hesitates. You're not going to like this. Tell me. It's his sister, Lisa Chen. She's been undergoing treatment for ovarian cancer at St. Mary's for the past 2 years. The bills, they're for experimental treatments. Insurance won't cover them. His sister, not Vivian. Not some other woman he's been taking care of. His sister, who's been fighting cancer while he's been fighting to keep his career alive. Is she? I can't finish the question. She's in remission, has been for 6 months, but the treatments, they left her infertile. She's been trying IVF, hoping to have a baby before it's too late. The room spins. I grab the edge of my desk for support. Maya, are you okay? I'm fine, but I'm not fine. I'm the opposite of fine. Because Lisa Chen is the sweetest person I've ever met, and she's been going through hell while I've been planning her brother's destruction. And Marcus has been paying for her treatments, sacrificing everything to save her life. There's something else, James says carefully. What? Lisa Chen called the office this morning. She's looking for her brother. Said he missed their weekly dinner last night, and she's worried about him. What did you tell her? That he was in meetings, but Maya, she knows about you. My blood runs cold. What do you mean? She knows you're the Maya he was involved with. She asked me to tell you that she's been wanting to talk to you for 2 years. The room is spinning faster now. I sit down hard in my chair. She doesn't know about the baby, I say quickly. Actually, James says quietly, she does. The world stops. Marcus told her everything after you two broke up. She's the one who told him to fight for you, to not let you go. She's also the one who told him you were pregnant. That's impossible. I never told him. She saw the test results at your apartment. The night you were at the hospital, she went to check on you and found them in your bathroom trash. Then why didn't he? Because by the time she told him, you'd already disappeared. Changed your name, moved apartments, blocked him on everything. He spent months looking for you. I can't breathe. The room is closing in around me and I can't breathe. Maya, get out! Maya, you need to know. Get out! James leaves and I'm alone with the truth that's been staring me in the face for 2 years. Marcus didn't abandon me. He didn't know about the baby until it was too late. And I've been torturing him for something that wasn't even his fault. I pick up my phone and dial his extension. Chen speaking. My office, now. I'm in the middle of... Now. 2 minutes later, he's standing in my doorway looking confused and wary. You wanted to see me? Sit down. He sits. The Morrison report, I say, staring at my hands. Don't worry about it. I'll have someone else handle it. I thought you said... I changed my mind. He stares at me for a long moment. Are you feeling all right? You look... pale. I'm fine. Maya, the name stops me cold. What did you just call me? He runs a hand through his hair. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. You remind me of someone. Who? Someone I used to know. Someone I hurt very badly. What happened to her? I lost her, made the worst mistake of my life and lost her. He looks at me directly. I'd give anything to take it back. Why? Because I loved her. Because she was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I was too stupid to realize it until it was too late. Maybe she's better off without you. Maybe, probably, but I'd still give anything for the chance to tell her how sorry I am. I stand up, walk to the window, stare out at the city below. Somewhere out there, Vivian is going about her day, completely unaware that her entire world is about to come crashing down. What if I told you, I say without turning around, that you might get that chance? I'd say you were giving me false hope. And what if I told you that sometimes the people we hurt the most are the ones standing right in front of us? Silence, then quietly. Maya? I turn around. Hello, Marcus. His face goes white. Oh my God. Surprise. Maya, He stands up, takes a step toward me, then stops. I looked for you. For months, I looked for you. I know. Lisa told me about the baby. I know you were pregnant, and I know I wasn't there, and I am so... Stop. Maya, please, let me explain. There's nothing to explain. I know about Vivian. I know about the lies she told you. I know about your sister's cancer and the medical bills and the reason you left. Then why? His voice breaks. Why are you doing this to me? Because I didn't know. For 2 years, I thought you abandoned me. I thought you chose her over me and our baby. I would never... I know that now, but I didn't know it then. And I've spent 2 years planning my revenge against a man who didn't actually deserve it. He sits down heavily. So what happens now? Now? I move back to my desk, pick up the Henderson file. Now you're going to give the presentation of your life on Friday, and you're going to get the job you deserve. Maya, and after that, we're going to figure out how to be colleagues. Because I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you. What about us? There is no us. There's just two people who used to love each other and now have to find a way to work together. I still love you. The words hit me like a physical blow. I never stopped loving you. Marcus, don't do this. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm not asking you to take me back. I'm just telling you the truth. The truth is complicated. The truth is simple. I love you. I've always loved you. And I will spend the rest of my life regretting that I wasn't there when you needed me most. I close my eyes, trying to block out the sincerity in his voice, the pain in his eyes. We can't do this. I know. We can't go back. I know that too. Then what do you want from me? Nothing. I just wanted you to know. He stands up, moves toward the door. Thank you. For the job, for the chance. I won't let you down. I know you won't. He pauses at the door. Maya, I'm sorry for everything. For not being there, for not knowing, for not fighting harder. I'm sorry. I know you are. Will you do me one favor? What? Will you meet Lisa? She's been wanting to talk to you for 2 years. I nod, not trusting my voice. After he leaves, I sit in my office and cry for the first time in 2 years. Not for what we lost, but for what we might have had if we'd just been honest with each other from the beginning. But it's too late for that now, too late for a lot of things. Or maybe it's not too late. Maybe it's just time for a different kind of revenge, the kind that involves destroying the person who actually deserves it. I pick up my phone and dial a number I know by heart. Vivian Sterling's office, this is Sarah. Sarah, this is Maya Rodriguez from Meridian Tech. I'd like to schedule a meeting with Miss Sterling about a potential partnership. Of course. When would it be convenient? As soon as possible. I have a proposition I think she'll find very interesting. I'll check her calendar and get back to you. Perfect. Tell her it's about the Henderson project. She'll know what that means. I hang up and smile for the first time in days. Time for phase 2. Vivian Sterling walks into my office like she owns the place, which is exactly what I expected. She's wearing a white power suit that probably cost more than most people's cars. Her blonde hair pulled back in a perfect chignon, her smile sharp enough to cut glass. Miss Rodriguez, she says, extending a manicured hand. Thank you for meeting with me on such short notice. Miss Sterling, please have a seat. She sits, crossing her legs and leaning back like she's holding court. I have to admit, I'm intrigued. Your assistant mentioned the Henderson project? Yes. We're looking for a partner to handle the cultural integration aspect of their U.S. market entry. Your gallery has an excellent reputation for bridging Eastern and Western artistic sensibilities. It does, she smiles. And I'm always interested in expanding into new markets. What kind of partnership are we talking about? A significant one. Henderson Tech is a $50 million account. The cultural integration component alone would be worth about $10 million. Her eyes light up with greed. That's substantial. It is, but I have to ask, aren't you concerned about conflicts of interest? What kind of conflicts? Well, I understand you have a personal relationship with Marcus Chen. He's our lead on the Henderson project. For just a moment, her perfect composure slips. Marcus is working on this project? He is. Is that going to be a problem? Not at all. Marcus and I have a very mature relationship. We're perfectly capable of separating business from personal matters. Good, because I'd hate for past romantic entanglements to interfere with such a lucrative opportunity. Marcus and I aren't romantically involved, she says quickly. We haven't been for months. Really? Because I heard you two were quite serious, something about unfinished business? She shifts in her chair. I'm not sure where you heard that, but it's not accurate. Marcus and I have been over for a long time. Interesting, because he seemed to indicate otherwise when I spoke with him about potential conflicts of interest. He did? Her voice goes sharp. What exactly did he say? Oh, I couldn't possibly repeat private conversations, but I got the impression that he was hopeful about your future together. It's a complete lie, but I can see it working. The muscles in her jaw tighten, and there's a dangerous glint in her eyes. I see. Well, I can assure you that whatever Marcus might have said, there's no conflict of interest here. I'm a professional, and my business decisions are based on merit, not personal relationships. Of course, I never meant to suggest otherwise. Good. She leans forward. Now, about this partnership, what would you need from me? Cultural consulting, event planning, maybe some high end client entertainment. Your gallery would be perfect for hosting Henderson's launch party. I'd love to be involved. When do we start? Well, that depends. I need to know I can trust you to handle sensitive information. This deal is still in the preliminary stages, and any leaks could kill it. You have my word. Excellent. In that case, I think we can move forward. I'll have my assistant send you the preliminary proposal. We'll need to move quickly. The presentation is Friday. This Friday? That's only 2 days away. I know. Can you handle the timeline? Of course. I don't see why not. Perfect. One more thing. I think it would be best if you didn't mention this conversation to Marcus. At least not until after the presentation. I'd hate for him to feel like I was going behind his back. Of course, our little secret. Exactly. After she leaves, I sit back in my chair and smile. Phase 2 is in motion. By the time I'm done with Vivian Sterling, she'll wish she'd never heard the name Marcus Chen. But first, I have a presentation to save. Marcus is still in his storage room office at 9 p.m. when I find him, surrounded by printouts and empty coffee cups. He looks up when I knock on the door frame. Maya, I didn't expect to see you here this late. I could say the same about you. Just putting the finishing touches on the Henderson presentation. I think it's good, but I want it to be perfect. I step into the cramped space, looking around at the chaos. This is unacceptable. The presentation, I know it needs work, but the office, this is unacceptable. You're a senior contractor, not an intern. It's fine, I've worked in worse places. No, it's not fine. It's unprofessional, and it reflects poorly on the company. I pull out my phone. James, I need you to set up Marcus in a proper office. 5th floor, corner suite. Tonight. Maya, you don't have to. It's not about what I have to do. It's about what's right. I hang up and turn back to him. Pack up your stuff. You're moving upstairs. Why? Because I said so. That's not a reason. It's the only reason you're going to get. He stares at me for a long moment. I don't understand you. Join the club. 1 minute you're making my life hell, the next you're giving me a corner office. What's your game? Maybe I don't have a game. Maybe I just realized that revenge isn't as satisfying as I thought it would be. And maybe you're lying. Maybe I am. He starts packing his papers into boxes. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for everything. For not being there when you needed me. For not knowing about the baby. For letting Vivian manipulate me into believing her lies. I know. Do you? Because sometimes I think you're still punishing me for something I didn't actually do. Maybe I'm punishing myself. He stops packing and looks at me. For what? For believing her lies too. For not fighting for us. For disappearing instead of trying to find you and tell you the truth. Maya, the baby, I say quietly. I lost the baby. I know, Lisa told me. No, you don't understand. I lost the baby because I was so stressed about you leaving that I made myself sick. The doctor said it was probably going to happen anyway. But I can't stop thinking that if I'd been stronger, if I'd handled it better. Hey. He drops the box and moves toward me. That's not your fault. Miscarriages happen. It's nobody's fault. Easy for you to say. You weren't the one bleeding in a hospital bathroom calling your name and getting voicemail. You called me? 57 times that night. I kept thinking you'd answer, that you'd come. That maybe when you knew what was happening, you'd realize you loved me more than you loved her. His face crumples. Maya, I never got those calls. Vivian had my phone that night. She said I was getting spam calls and she'd handle them. Of course she did. If I had known, you would have what? Left her again? Come running back to me out of guilt? I would have been there. No matter what it meant for my relationship with Vivian, I would have been there. But you weren't. But I wasn't, he agrees quietly, and I will regret that for the rest of my life. We stand there in the tiny storage room surrounded by boxes and broken dreams and 2 years' worth of misunderstandings. The presentation, I say finally. How is it really? It's good, really good. Maybe the best work I've ever done. Show me. He opens his laptop and pulls up the PowerPoint. For the next hour, I watch him walk through his strategy for Henderson Tech, and it's brilliant. Not just good, brilliant. He's identified market opportunities that our research team missed, cultural insights that could make the difference between success and failure, partnership strategies that could revolutionize how we approach international expansion. This is incredible, I tell him when he's finished. You think? I think you just saved my job. This presentation is going to blow the board away. Your job was in jeopardy. Let's just say that hiring you raised some eyebrows. People were questioning my judgment. And now? Now they're going to be wondering why I didn't hire you sooner. He smiles. The first real smile I've seen from him since he walked into my office on Monday. So does this mean I passed the probationary period? Let's see how the presentation goes first. Maya? Yeah. Thank you for the second chance, for not destroying me completely when you had the opportunity. Don't thank me yet. The presentation is Friday. Vivian is going to be there. His smile fades. What do you mean? I mean, I might have set up a meeting with her about a potential partnership on the Henderson project. You did what? Don't worry, I have a plan. Maya, Vivian is dangerous. She's not just going to sit there and let me succeed. She'll find a way to sabotage this. I'm counting on it. What are you talking about? I close his laptop and stand up. Trust me. That's a big ask. I know, but I'm asking anyway. He studies my face for a long moment. Okay, I trust you. Good, because Friday is going to be interesting. Friday morning arrives with all the subtlety of a freight train. The boardroom is packed, not just with our usual suspects, but with Henderson Tech's entire executive team, who flew in from Singapore just for this presentation. The stakes couldn't be higher. Marcus looks calm, but I can see the tension in his shoulders as he sets up his laptop. He's wearing his best suit, the one he probably bought for job interviews, and his confidence is back. Good. He's going to need it. Ladies and gentlemen, I announce to the room. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our cultural consultant for this project, Vivian Sterling from Sterling Contemporary Gallery. Vivian sweeps into the room like she's walking a red carpet, all smiles and perfectly orchestrated charm. Marcus's face goes pale when he sees her, but he doesn't miss a beat. Miss Sterling, he says coolly. What a surprise. Marcus, always a pleasure. The Henderson executives look confused by the obvious tension, but they're too polite to comment. I take my seat at the head of the table. Mr. Chen, whenever you're ready. Thank you. Marcus clicks to his first slide. When Henderson Tech asked us to help them enter the U.S. market, we could have taken the obvious approach. Tech hubs, urban demographics, Silicon Valley partnerships. Instead, we went deeper. For the next 30 minutes, he delivers the presentation of his life. He talks about cultural bridges, about the way technology can bring families together across generational and linguistic barriers. He presents market research that shows suburban families are the real opportunity, not urban professionals. He outlines a launch strategy that's both innovative and practical. The Henderson executives are nodding, taking notes, asking engaged questions. Even our own board members look impressed. Then Vivian speaks up. This is all very interesting, she says, her voice honey-sweet and poisonous. But I have to wonder about the research methodology. Marcus, when did you say you conducted these focus groups? Over the past 2 weeks. Really? Because I happen to know that your budget for this project was quite limited. How exactly did you afford extensive market research on such short notice? The room goes quiet. Marcus meets her gaze steadily. I used my own resources. Your own resources? Vivian laughs. Marcus, we both know you don't have any resources. You're practically bankrupt. Vivian, I interrupt, but she's just getting started. I mean, it's admirable that you're so dedicated to your work, but let's be realistic here. You've been unemployed for 6 months. You're behind on your rent. You can barely afford groceries. When exactly did you find the money for market research? The Henderson executives are looking uncomfortable now. Marcus's jaw is tight, but his voice stays level. My financial situation doesn't affect the quality of my work. Doesn't it? Because I have to wonder what corners you cut to make this presentation look good. How do we know this research is legitimate? How do we know you didn't just make up these numbers to impress the client? That's enough, I say sharply. I'm just looking out for Henderson Tech's interests, Vivian says innocently. They deserve to know who they're working with. And who exactly are they working with? Marcus asks quietly. Someone who's so desperate for success that he'd do anything to get it. Someone who's already proven he can't be trusted to keep his commitments. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, come on, Marcus. We all know your track record with commitment. How many times have you walked away when things got difficult? How many people have you abandoned when something better came along? The room is dead silent now. I can see Marcus struggling to maintain his composure. Can see the exact moment when he realizes what she's doing. You're right, he says finally. I have walked away from things. I've made mistakes, hurt people I cared about, let fear make my decisions for me. But that's not what this is about. Isn't it? No, this is about you trying to sabotage my career because you can't handle the fact that I finally realized what you really are. And what am I, Marcus? A manipulator, a liar, someone who gets off on controlling other people's lives. Vivian's perfect composure finally cracks. How dare you? How dare I tell the truth? How dare I finally see through your games? Gentlemen, ladies, Dr. Lim from Henderson Tech interjects, perhaps we should... No, Marcus says, standing up. She wants to talk about my character? Let's talk about character. Let's talk about someone who lies to destroy relationships, who spreads rumors to ruin careers, who... Marcus, I warn, who has been laundering money through her gallery for the past 3 years. The room explodes. Everyone starts talking at once, but Vivian's voice cuts through the chaos. That's slander. I'll sue you for every penny you don't have. With what money? Marcus asks. The money you've been washing for the Morrison Group? The money that's supposed to be buying art but is actually paying off city officials? You're insane. Am I? Because I have bank records, shipping manifests, gallery receipts that don't match the art you've supposedly purchased? I've been building a case against you for months. You've been what? I didn't lose my last job because of office politics, Vivian. I lost it because I discovered that Morrison Industries was embezzling city funds, and you were helping them hide the money. When I tried to report it, you made sure I was discredited and blacklisted. Security, Vivian snaps, but I'm already standing. That won't be necessary. Dr. Lim, Mr. Henderson, I apologize for this disruption. If you'd like to reconvene... Actually, Dr. Lim says quietly, we'd like to hear more about these allegations. They're lies, Vivian says quickly. Are they? I pull out a thick folder. Because I've been doing some investigating of my own. Maya, what are you doing? Marcus asks. My job. I open the folder. Dr. Lim, 3 weeks ago you mentioned that you were looking for a cultural consultant. I recommended Miss Sterling based on her reputation, but then I discovered some inconsistencies in her business practices. What kind of inconsistencies? The kind that involve federal money laundering charges. Vivian bolts for the door, but James is already there, along with 2 men in dark suits who definitely aren't from our security team. Vivian Sterling, one of them says. FBI, you're under arrest for conspiracy, money laundering, and wire fraud. As they read her rights, she looks back at me with pure hatred. You planned this, she hisses. I sure did. How long have you known? About the money laundering? A few weeks. About what you did to Marcus and me? 2 years too long. You think you've won? I think you're going to prison. They lead her away in handcuffs and the room falls silent. Dr. Lim clears his throat. Well, he says, this has been educational. I'm sorry, Marcus begins, but Dr. Lim holds up a hand. Don't apologize. You just saved our company from partnering with a criminal. The question is, how did you know? Marcus looks at me. I didn't. Maya did. Miss Rodriguez? When Marcus told me about his previous job, some things didn't add up. I started investigating, and the more I dug, the more I realized that he wasn't the problem. She was. She's been systematically destroying people's careers to cover up her crimes. And you uncovered all of this in 3 weeks? I'm very thorough. Dr. Lim smiles. Indeed, Mr. Chen, your presentation was excellent, but this is above and beyond. Henderson Tech would be honored to work with Meridian, and specifically with you. After the Henderson executives leave and the board members file out, still buzzing with excitement, Marcus and I are alone in the conference room. You planned that whole thing, he says, most of it. How long have you known about Vivian's crimes? I started investigating her the day after you told me about your last job. It took me 2 weeks to put together enough evidence to interest the FBI. You could have just told me. And missed the look on her face when she realized she'd been caught? Not a chance. He laughs, and it's the first genuine laugh I've heard from him in years. So what happens now? He asks. Now you get your real job, not some probationary contractor position. Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships, full salary, full benefits, corner office. And us? What about us? Maya, we can't just pretend. We can't go backward, Marcus. Too much has happened. I'm not asking to go backward. I'm asking if we can go forward. As colleagues. As whatever you're comfortable with. I look at him. Really look at him. The Marcus I fell in love with, but different now. Older, scarred by everything we've been through, but somehow stronger for it. I don't know, I admit. I don't know if I can trust you not to hurt me again. I can't promise I won't hurt you. People hurt each other even when they love each other. But I can promise I'll never abandon you again. I can promise I'll fight for us, even when it's hard. That's a big promise. It's the only one I can make. I need time. I know. I need space to figure out who I am when I'm not planning revenge. I understand. But Marcus? Yeah? Ask me again in 6 months. Will you say yes? Ask me in 6 months and find out. He smiles. Deal. I'm in my office, my new office, the one that comes with the VP title I earned after the Henderson deal, when James buzzes me. Maya, there's someone here to see you. Who? Marcus Chen. He says he has an appointment? I check my calendar. Nothing scheduled for 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Send him in. Marcus appears in my doorway holding a single white rose and looking nervous as hell. Miss Rodriguez, he says formally, thank you for seeing me. Mr. Chen, I don't believe we had an appointment. We didn't. But 6 months ago, you told me to ask you something in 6 months. Did I? I don't recall. Maya Rodriguez, will you have dinner with me? I lean back in my chair, pretending to consider it. That depends. On what? On whether you're asking Maya Rodriguez, VP of Strategic Partnerships, or Maya Sullivan, the girl who used to love you. I'm asking both of them. And if they say yes, then I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to deserve them. I stand up, walk around my desk, and take the rose. One dinner. Somewhere public. Absolutely. And we split the check. Deal. And Marcus? Yeah? If you ever choose anyone over me again, I won't just destroy your career. I'll destroy your entire existence. He grins. I love it when you're scary. Good. Because scary Maya is here to stay. I wouldn't have it any other way. 6 months ago, Marcus Chen walked into my office desperate for a job and unaware that he was walking into a trap. Today, he's walking out with a second chance at love and a woman who's learned that the best revenge isn't destroying your enemies. It's becoming too powerful for them to destroy you. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, it's also learning to forgive the people who deserve it, even if they don't deserve you. Yet.